What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here today with a review for Black Ink Crew Los Angeles, LA, something of that nature. Season 2, episode 14. Episode was titled Face the Music. I think that was the name of the episode. Yeah. So before we go ahead and get into the review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on the channel, and you guys aren't subscribed yet, do me a huge solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning your post notifications on, and sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss Black Ink Crew LA, shall we? All right, you guys. So before I dig into this episode review, I have to sit here and put out a little housekeeping announcement, right? So earlier today, I uploaded my Love and Marriage Huntsville review, and I had a comment in my review that was basically somebody was coming at me behind Martell Holt of all people. Like, the fuck, you guys? So, the housekeeping announcement. If I say something in any of these videos that you guys disagree with, that's fine, right? I always say we can have a conversation down in the comments section and we can be respectful of each other, right? Because at the end of the day, this is my channel. These are my opinions. My face is on here. My name is on here. So these are my opinions. If you have differing opinions of what I say, it's fine to say that, but don't be damn respectful to me. Be respectful to me. Like, when it comes down to these reality shows, I don't know anybody on these shows, with the exception of a slim few. And I've told you guys the people that I do know on reality TV, on some of these reality shows, right? It's very slim people that I know, slim. And the people that I know on these reality shows are because they're from my hometown. That's the only reason why I know some of them. They're from my hometown. My hometown is very small. Or I know people here in Dallas. If they're from Texas, Dallas, or where I'm from specifically, then yes, I might know them. Other than that, I don't know nobody else. Like, the fuck, you guys, and y'all just do the most. And I just cussed in the first half of this video. I don't know if this is gonna get monetized, but we shall see. Now, let's go ahead and just jump into this episode already. All right, you guys, so this episode, we start up and we see Kat. So Kat is looking, you guys know Kat was talking to her fiance in last week's episode, and you guys know that she wants to move to Los Angeles, right? And she wants her fiance to come with her, wants her whole family out there in Los Angeles. So in this episode, Kat is, Jesus, I got a glare in my eye from this light. So Kat is out looking for a house, right? So she's with Kevin, and it said his life partner, right? Who's her realtor. So I will say one thing about these houses and those houses. They were very nice, right? And those prices, though, those prices were astronomically high. And when you think about places like LA, it's like you pay an arm and a leg for a house, and do you have a backyard? Like, what the fuck do you get for them high ass prices? One thing to the Californians, here's a little tidbit for you. Here's a little tip for you. Stay the hell out of Texas. We are filled to capacity here. Y'all stay out there in LA. Stay out there with them high ass prices. We full here, right? But yeah, the houses were actually really pretty and nice. The only thing that, like I said, was what the hell do y'all get for millions of dollars? You don't get any land, you don't get nothing. What the fuck are you paying for? That's part of the reason why I was like, I don't know if I could ever live in LA. But hey, never say never, right? You know, Kat is still at this point a little bit unsure about the move, the shop, because more specifically because that shop is still in disarray at this point. So she got a new contractor, so hopefully everything will run smoothly. So Kevin tells her about what happened after the roast seminar last week, right? With the situation with Nessie, Lemire, and Nelly. So thank you, Kevin, for saying what Nelly's pronouns are, because all last week I was just like, what is this woman's pronoun? So Nelly is a she. Thank God. Not in that, I didn't mean it in that sense, but thank God that I know what her pronouns are. Because I was just like, Jesus, how do I go through a whole entire season not knowing what this woman identifies as? But she identifies as a woman, so we are good on that one. So here's my issue when it came down to the situation that happened at the Rose Seminar with Nelly, Lemire, and Nessie. Nessie did the most for no fucking reason, right? Nelly inserted herself. I get why she did it. I know she probably wanted to diffuse the situation, but telling Lemire to shut the fuck up, that ain't diffusing shit. And then you're talking, we'll talk about it later. She's talking about he was drunk, but if you telling a drunk person to shut the fuck up, shit ain't gonna go the way that you expect it to go, right? Like, I don't know what she was thinking. We'll talk, like I said, we will discuss it as we get further into the episode, but yeah. So next up, we are with the I Am Compton crew. Can I be honest? I ain't really feeling the I Am Compton crew, I really have not 100% ever felt them, right? Because I ain't never been a fan of old Tim, right? I ain't never been a big fan of Tim. So we meet a girl, her name is Amber. She is celebrating her birthday, and they're doing a cooking class. When I saw Alana, the thing about Alana, the lips. Oh, the lip fillers. I don't understand why people get lip fillers, but that ain't got nothing to do with me, and it ain't my business, right? So they were in the class. They were talking about Polo, and they were talking about the fact that he dropped a song in a group chat, and the song sounded like he might be getting back into the street life. And I'm like, so y'all couldn't just sit down and ask the nigga, like, hey nigga, this song that you put in the group chat, like, what's up with this? Can't nobody just flat out ask what it is? Y'all some grown ass children, but that's neither here nor there, right? So Alana, she asked them, KP and Tim, what happened with Ink, right? I don't know if maybe I heard something different or if KP and Tim heard something different, right? When they were talking to Ink, I don't think Ink was necessarily saying that he didn't want a tattoo. I think what he was saying was he is working with an agency who deals with models, actors, and entertainers, right? And he was telling y'all what clientele he can bring in. I don't necessarily know if he was saying that y'all would tattoo him or he would. And I know that he also said that he was taking some time off to think about things, right? What he wants to do. But I don't think I ever heard anywhere in that situation where that man said, I don't want a tattoo anymore. But again, I could be the dumbass and I could be the wrong person, but I don't feel that I am, you know? But yeah, let's pause here, move forward. So next up, you guys, we got Danielle and Lemire, right? So Danielle is working out of their home with her clothing line, and that apartment was full of clothing. I'm like, ooh, y'all looked a little on the cramped side, but hey. So they sat down, and Lemire told, Danielle about the situation that happened between him, Nessie, and Nelly, right? And Danielle is talking about how when it comes down to she and Nessie, she tries to keep their relationship separate from, hers with Lemire. And I'm still just gonna piggyback on what I said last week. You can't. It's kind of like you're trying to dictate who this man is friends with, right? If you and this guy had a rocky situation, and I don't know if you tried to dip back in the dip sack with him, but here's my thing: you should have sat down with him and had a conversation, like I said last week. Sit down with this nigga, be like, hey man, I don't fuck with you, right? If you gonna come around, you're gonna be around Lemire, you're gonna be around, the Enigma crew. Me and you, let's just put it out here that we don't fuck with each other. When you come around, we can speak, and that be that. Or we don't have to do anything. You can act like I don't exist. I can act like you don't exist. I just don't understand why Nessie made such a big situation of that. I don't understand it. But that's neither here nor there again as well. So we didn't see Corey. So Corey went to go check on Polo. And, Polo brought up they brought up the song. And he was like, yeah, I put it in a group chat and nobody said anything. It was crickets. Well, sir, if you're talking about what'd he say? Something about it was like taking a mother's son and making her cry. I'm like, again, I know when it comes to music, sometimes people in their music, they put things that they've been through, but if you came from the street life, I don't know why we can't elevate away from that shit. Like, it's one thing to go through that stuff, but if you continue to talk about it, then you are basically glorifying it. That's how I feel, right? But he did tell Corey that, he's not in the street life or anything like that. And, in a sense, I got from what I was understanding from what he was saying, it kind of sounded like he don't know what to talk about. Talk about your kids, talk about your parenting. I mean, there are so many things that you could talk about that's going on in your life. It ain't got to be shit that you went through previously. It can be shit that you going through. I mean, there's a slew of, but hey, I mean, shit. And he even said he going through a whole lot of shit in his personal life. He broke up with his girlfriend. He's trying to parent his son who's in a different state. And why not write about what you're going through in the moment instead of, again, I hate to say it, but it kind of seemed like you're taking the easy ride out because you feel like, it sounds like you're sensationalizing what happened in the streets. Why not stop talking about that altogether? Maybe I, again, just think too deep. I don't know. But let's go ahead and pause here and... All right, guys, so next up we see Kat. So Kat went to the shop that her crew is working out of, you guys. And she's talking to the guy who owns the shop because, she still is dealing with the renovations to her shop, right? So she asked him, can, she and her crew stay there for another 2 weeks? And he says, yes, right? So in this scene, we were introduced to two artists on her side, right? One was Deshay, and I will say, I loved his work, and Bookie, loved his work as well. I ain't going too deep into who they are because I couldn't care less. Not in a negative way, just I wasn't listening. I was just more so looking at their art. That's it. No disrespect to either one of them because I think both of their artists, I think they're phenomenal artists, right? So if I'm ever in LA, which I don't know if I will be, but if I'm ever in LA, I'll pop my head into the shop and, try to get a tattoo. The one thing that I will say that I noticed when they talk about Kat's shop is very positive when they speak about her shop. They talk about the environment of Kat's shop, and I was like, okay. I was about to say something about another artist shop, but she kind of talked about it in this episode. So should I talk about it? Should I talk about Ryan's shop? Because I mean, yeah, let's talk about it. Ryan's shop was negative as fuck. Hate to say it, but there was so much negativity in that goddamn shop. Jesus, there was so much negativity in that shop. And that's all I'm gonna say. So she talked to Nelly, right? And I still have the same stance that I had earlier about Nelly. I do believe that Nelly should have minded her fucking business, right? Or if you want to step in and defend Nessie, you could have gone about it a different way. To sit there and tell that man to shut the fuck up is just rude and disrespectful. It's just disrespectful as fuck, right? But that's all I got. So after that, we saw Kat and she met up with Jada. Now Jada worked with Kevin in New York. Now I will say, when it comes to Black Ink Crew New York, that is one that I would be in and out of. And the season that she worked at the shop, season 6, I was out. I was teetering in and out of that season because, isn't that the season where, isn't that the season? No, that ain't that season. I don't know. I know what that season I watched, but I didn't watch at the same time. It was like I would pop in for a few episodes because by the 6th season of Black Ink Crew New York, I was overseas. I was literally overseas. C's was starting to get on my nerves by that point. Actually, C's was always on my nerves. But he was starting to feel himself a little bit more. I was like, oh, okay, we gotta go. So, they're talking about what's going on in Kat's life, about, how she's trying to move from getting Jamie to move there, the issues with the shop, the wedding. She wants to, when she gets married, she wants to be able to enjoy herself, and I don't blame her, right? So she wants to wait until she is firmly in LA, had that baby, and her shop is up and running. And honest to God, I don't blame her. Like, I really don't. But yeah, let's pause here and move forward. So Nelly met up with Nessie, right? And they talked about the seminar, and it just feels like Nelly doesn't feel like she said or did anything wrong. And I'm like, lady, once again, I get that you were defending Nessie, but your approach was harsh at best, right? So she was talking about the fact that they were talking and it escalated and he was drinking. I was like, well, if you know that he was drinking and the situation is escalating, why did you add to it? Like, make that make sense to me. Why did you add to the bullshit? But it doesn't make sense. And Nessie. So, Nessie, go to therapy. That's the nicest and easiest thing that I can say to you, because I feel like there's a lot of issues within Nessie, and I think that she needs to sit down and talk to somebody. That's all I got. Next up, let's move over to Tim, KP, and Corey. Oh, you guys, when it comes to these two, KP and Tim, I just don't see it for these two, right? So Corey was telling KP and Tim about him meeting up with Polo and how good the conversation went, right? Well, Tim also met up with him, and Tim told him that the conversation with him didn't go that well. I'm like, you don't say. You're an asshole. Like, I'm pretty positive you came at him with the rah-rah bullshit. So if you came at him with some bullshit, I'm pretty sure that man said fuck you and came back at you with your same energy. Like, the fuck? So KP says that he'll talk to Polo. Okay. Do we care? I don't. So let's wrap up this episode, you guys. I'm gonna pause here and wrap up. So we see Kat. So Kat met up with the crew and she wanted to discuss what happened after the rose ceremony. I will say with Deshae, he spoke nothing but facts to Nelly. But Nelly seemed like she was getting a little bit defensive. I'm like, he's trying to tell you in no uncertain terms that, yes, I get what you were doing. You were defending Nessie, but you escalated the situation as well. If you want to diffuse the situation, don't come into it as hostile as you came in. You came in very, very strong. And like, again, I'm going to repeat it one more time. You told that man to shut the fuck up. What did you expect for that nigga to do? Like, what you expect for him to do? You think that you just gonna sit here and tell somebody, oh, shut the fuck up, and if they gonna be like, oh, okay, I hear you, let me shut the fuck up. Nah, it don't work that way. So at one point, they all started talking over each other and just arguing. I'm like, oh my God. First of all, I just don't understand how people go out to eat and they sit at a table and they argue with each other. That would never be for me. The minute a motherfucker start arguing at the table that I'm sitting, I'm like, you know what? Find me another table to sit at, because I'm not gonna sit here and listen to this bullshit. Like, motherfuckers sitting here arguing, fuck that. So Nelly, she apologizes to everyone at the table. I'm like, okay. I'm pretty sure something else is gonna happen later on in the season, but for now, we'll take it. So, Polo, he ended the episode and oof, this scene right here was a little much for me. So, Polo was going through a whole hell of a lot, right? He broke up with his girlfriend, his stepfather passed away, and he's trying to parent his son from a different state. And I'm like, now, how is that happening? How is that working? Never mind. I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. I really don't have an opinion, but I was gonna say something that I'm gonna keep it internally, and it wasn't gonna be negative, but I was just gonna say, never mind. Nope, let's not say it. So, he's telling his mom about what happened with him and KP them. Sir, count your blessings. I just don't think that. Shut up. Count your blessings. That's all I got to say, right? Now, what I wasn't ready for was when that man broke down and started crying. I was like, oh. But I mean, you can hear that man has been through a lot of stuff. And the same way I said about Nessie, damn it, I hope you get some therapy, sir. Because you're dealing with a lot. And you went in prison. Prayers up to you and your family. That's all I got to say. But that's the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys thought about it down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications on, and share the video. And until the next time, please, you guys, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.